The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Sophia stepped through the crystalline doors. Her footsteps echoed against the vaulted ceiling, each click of her boots a measured count toward judgment. The assembled aliens, creatures of chitin, plasma, and thought forms, watched with their various sensory organs as the human representative approached the central podium. Ambassador Sophia, the Council Prime, a towering Vraxian with 6 eyes that glowed like dying stars, spoke through the translation matrix. Humanity stands accused of violating the Galactic Convention on Warfare. Your species has deployed weapons of unprecedented brutality against the Krell Dominion. We demand an explanation. Sophia placed her hands on the podium, her knuckles white. Behind her, Captain Walter stood at attention in his military dress uniform, medals gleaming under the alien lights. His jaw was set, his eyes forward, but Sophia could feel the rage radiating from him, the same rage that burned in her own chest. "An explanation," Sophia repeated, her voice dangerously soft. "You want an explanation for why we stopped playing by your rules?" The Council Prime's manipulator appendages twitched. "The rules of civilized warfare exist for all species." "Civilized?" Sophia's laugh was bitter and sharp. "You want to talk about civilization? Then let's talk about the colony on Prometheus 4. She activated her data pad, and holographic images filled the chamber. The delegates recoiled as scenes of horror materialized before them. Scorched earth, melted structures, and bodies. So many bodies. 200,000 humans, Sophia continued, her voice growing harder with each word. Farmers, teachers, children. The Krell didn't just attack a military installation. They systematically exterminated every man, woman, and child on that world. They used biological weapons banned by every civilized species for 3,000 years. A Zeltharian counselor, its translucent form shimmering with discomfort, spoke up. The Krell claimed Prometheus the Fort was a military staging ground. It was a farming colony. Walter's voice cracked like a whip through the chamber. Sophia glanced back at him, and he gave her a slight nod. She turned back to the council. Captain Walter lost his sister on Prometheus the 4. She was a school teacher. Her students were between 5 and 12 years old. Sophia's eyes swept across the assembled aliens. The Krell broadcast their attack. They wanted us to watch. They wanted us to know what they could do. She advanced the images. The delegates looked away, but Sophia's voice forced their attention back. New Harmony, Zephyr Station, Port Adelaide. 7 colonies in 3 months. Not military targets. Population centers. The Krell didn't invade these places. They sterilized them. They wanted to send a message that humanity was soft, weak, unworthy of our place among the stars. The Council Prime's voice modulated to a tone of forced patience. "We understand your anger, Ambassador, but the weapons you've deployed are effective," Sophia interrupted. "You want to know what we used? We used fear. We used psychology. We used every piece of information about Krell biology and culture we could gather, and we weaponized it." She pulled up new files, and the chamber filled with classified military footage. The delegates watched as human warships, smaller and less advanced than the Krell dreadnoughts, engaged in tactics that defied galactic military doctrine. The Krell pride themselves on being apex predators, Walter spoke again, stepping forward to stand beside Sophia. They believe fear is weakness, so we showed them what real predators look like. The footage showed human vessels using hit-and-run tactics, appearing from nowhere, striking with precision, and vanishing before the Krell could respond. But it was the boarding actions that made the council members recoil. Human soldiers in powered armor, moving through Krell ships like wraiths, leaving psychological warfare in their wake. "We learned that the Krell have a hereditary memory," Sophia explained. "Trauma experienced by one generation passes to the next through their genetic structure," So we made sure every encounter with humanity would be traumatic. We made them afraid of the dark. We made them afraid of silence. We made them afraid of empty corridors where human soldiers might be waiting. This is torture, a Calithian delegate protested, its crystalline structure resonating with distress. No, Walter said coldly. Torture is what they did to the survivors on Prometheus IV before they finally killed them. What we did was warfare. Human warfare. Sophia continued. The Krell thought we were soft, because we followed your rules. We built hospitals on our warships. We treated prisoners well. We tried to minimize civilian casualties. We were civilized. She spat the last word like poison. And the Krell interpreted our civility as weakness. She closed the files and faced the council directly. You asked for an explanation. Here it is. Humanity tried to be civilized. We followed the Galactic Convention. We trusted that the rules would protect us. And when an enemy broke those rules, when they committed genocide against our people, we learned something important. The chamber was utterly silent now. We learned that civilization is a choice we make when both sides agree to it. The Krell chose genocide, so we stopped choosing civilization. The Council Prime's eyes dimmed. You cannot simply abandon the principles that hold our galactic society together. Walter stepped forward, his voice carrying the weight of loss and determination. Then perhaps your galactic society needs better principles. Ones that actually protect innocent lives instead of protecting the sensibilities of council members who've never watched their worlds burn. Sophia placed a hand on Walter's shoulder, then addressed the council one final time. Humanity will rejoin civilized society when civilization proves it can defend itself against those who would destroy it. Until then, we'll do what you're all too afraid to do. We'll be the monsters that hunt monsters. She turned to leave, Walter falling into step beside her. Ambassador, the Council Prime called out. What of the Krell? They're suing for peace, claiming your actions constitute war crimes. Sophia paused at the doorway and looked back over her shoulder. Tell the Krell that humanity accepts their surrender. Tell them we'll show them more mercy than they showed our children. And tell every other species in this galaxy that Earth protects its own, by whatever means necessary. As the doors closed behind them, Walter spoke quietly. Do you think they understood? Sophia's expression was grim. They will. Eventually they'll all understand. We're not the helpless newcomers anymore. We're not the ones who need their protection. What are we then? Walter asked. Sophia's eyes were hard as steel. We're the reason the monsters should be afraid.